What's up, YouTube? First and foremost, shout out to all my subscribers. Thank you all for running up those likes, sharing my content, and subscribing. Comments and hitting the like buttons really does push my content out there. That's how YouTube knows that it should show it to more people. I'm sure that you're all aware of it. I say it just to help remind you guys, and it really does help a whole lot. If everybody that the first 500 people watch my video hit the like button, I can get a lot of views, and it could really help me out. And if you support me, rock with me on that, and I would really appreciate that, right? So the name of this video is what do homeless need most, but I want to talk about something else first. So last night I wasn't feeling the best, dude. I was actually feeling pretty down. It happens. I'm normally a positive person. I was feeling a little bit down, and then the power of stuff can really change your mood, man. And what I mean by the power of the stuff, I look on YouTube, and one of my subscribers, a guy named Jared, actually went ahead and did a video and did a mention and asked his people to go ahead and subscribe and stuff, and that was just nice as hell. And I was like, oh, dude, that was really, really cool. And then I was checking out some of his videos. Some of his videos are like just him eating and stuff, but I hit this one video where he's talking about like codes and stuff, and like you're supposed to figure out some code, I guess. However, when he's doing that, like, he's got a girl in the background that's saying like obnoxious funny stuff, and it just made me laugh. And I really went from like not feeling so good, kind of feeling like on the disappointment side. And I don't want to get into it. It was something personal. I didn't get the best phone call last night from a family member, and stuff like that happens. I'm sure eventually I'll share it. I just don't want to relive it right now. I want to tell you about this video. It's funny, man. So like why he's like trying to say some kind of like, I think, alien code or something, right? And that's like right up my alley. And when he's doing that, this girl is like wipe your butt, you don't need your nose, get a nose job and have your nose removed. And I just couldn't stop laughing. And boy, I went from feeling pretty low to pretty high up there, man. I thought that was funny, and I thought that was really cool, Jared, which is really dope. I do want to ask people, if check out all my subscribers and stuff. Check out the videos. I know that you've already seen them, but if you were to share something with somebody, right, like on your Facebook or your Discord server, or your little gamer channels or a forum or whatever, go through my videos and throw the embedded link or whatever out there, man. That would really help me out, and that's a great way to that you can show support. And this is not a dictatorship here. Like I don't want to, and this is what's great about YouTube. I'm not on here just talking to myself. There's really great people that are subscribing and leaving comments, and all of that is really mind-blowing. It's like, wow, it's something I didn't expect with YouTube, and I'm still a very small channel, and I can't wait till I get to 1,000 or more subscribers so I can go live and talk to you guys. And more than going live, like, I'm not going to be one of those people who go live and it's have their finger up their nose and just wait for you to say something. No, when I go live and talk to you guys, I'm gonna have all sorts of stuff set up. I'm gonna have a system set up that anytime, it doesn't matter how big my channel gets, I will answer you guys' questions. More than questions, your statements. I want to communicate with you. This is a community, not a dictatorship. So right on. I don't care that it's taking a little bit for me to jump into the video. This, to me, it's important. This is the way that I want to roll with it. But what do homeless need most? I guess it all depends on the aspects of everything, man. Like, should they have a shelter first? Should they have food first? Should they have water first? I kind of think what the most important thing is they need to have hope, man. I think, and it's not just homeless people that need this. I believe everybody does. If you feel people who feel like that the world is very, very small and that they don't have any hope and they don't have a chance, that's where it's very depressing, and it's very it's not very progressive towards them. A little bit of hope can go such a long way. That's why they say hope is dangerous. I think it's dangerous if you don't have it. The people that are quick, that are, in my opinion, are crash dummies. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. A crash dummy, to me, is somebody who doesn't use their brains and does something very, very bad. Like, or what I'm saying. So a crash dummy, let's say, for example, you decided to rob a pizza guy. Okay, that's a crash dummy move. You should never do anything that's bad anyways, but doing that. And then on top of it, let's say that pizza guy gives you the pizza or the couple bucks in his pocket, and you still do him in. and that actually happened in front of my apartment. When I had an apartment before I became homeless, living in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I should talk about that too, real quick. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I am homeless. I do live in my car. There's been other periods in my life where I'm homeless, where I wasn't in a car at all. If you wanted the full story, I do have that on here, and it's like 55 minutes. If you want to find out, some of the other stuff, if you like this content, subscribe and check out the other videos, and you'll probably find your answer before just assuming something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that is horrible, right? That is a horrible thing. One, if you do that to somebody and they give you everything, why would you do that, right? I believe that the people that do that, one, are ignorant and downright stupid and cruel and miserable, and I believe that they're downright evil, right? But then number two, I think those people don't have any hope. Like, to be that, to think that is the only way out, to think that it's still okay to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then there's other stuff too, where there's people that unalive themselves. They never saw hope, and once you're out the game, you never know if things could change for you. And I know what it feels like to not have hope. Thank goodness that I was able to persevere, and it was only it was, I guess, a short amount enough time where I did find hope later. You know what I'm saying? And where I have a video on here on traumatic childhood, and there was so many times in that video where I said I felt hopeless. Like, my world felt so small. It felt like the neighborhood and the hood that I lived in, and all the stuff. And when I'm talking about the stuff, it's not just because I live in a bad area that my childhood is traumatic. No, I had an evil I call him my mom's husband, but he was my biological father, who is just an evil person who did very bad things. And my video of traumatic childhood doesn't do very good on YouTube because of it being graphic. However, I really wanted to open myself up and talk about things. And there's a lot of stuff with that story that I want to continue talking about. One, I believe it did help me talking about it. Number two, I want to be able to help somebody else. And I do like sharing, I think there's people that could relate to that and everything else. But hope is the number one thing that I think homeless need. So does that mean that you should end the video now and be like, oh, okay, hope, that's great? No, I'm going to continue talking. So, roll with me on this, all right? So if you're homeless, I guess that's another thing too, right? People are way closer to being homeless than they even realize. I think it's like 60% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account. With everything going on from affordable housing to just how bad all the everything is, and it wasn't long ago where people were like, oh, this neighborhood's bad or this neighborhood's bad. In my opinion, almost all of it is, and the game is not watered down. When I grew up, it was a lot of fighting and a lot of, it was more than fighting. Like, you ended up getting the damage that you can't walk away from. Like, these weren't black eyes and a couple missing teeth. No, this is broken vertebrae, crazy stuff. Like, yeah, breaking vertebrae, reconstructive surgery on your face. People using certain weapons on you, all that kind of crap. And then, of course, it became the 4th of July and the ratchet stuff, and and it went like that. And then for a while, like a little bit after that, years. You got to remember, I'm an old head. I might look a little bit young, but trust me, I'm on the older side. But it started becoming a little bit more where it was like a lot of cap. Nowadays, and it's been like this for a while. Nowadays, it's not all cap. It's the youngsters, man. Tupac has that song, Shorty wants to be a thug. Man, you're only 14 doing this. Yeah, these 14-year-old kids are, busting windows. They are strapped. They will use it. They have used it, and a lot of them get caught really, really quick. Because of just I'm glad that they're getting caught, but I wish that they would never do it to begin with. And of course, there's people saying, is it GTA? I remember a long time ago they were talking about Quentin Tarantino, that his movies made it so that you know, people would want to do violence and stuff like that. And I loved all of his responses. He was like, "That's bull crap," and blah blah blah. There was that stuff going on beforehand. And then if you guys also remember when Eminem came out with that song, "The Way I Am," right? You know, they saying that they tried to blame Marilyn Manson and blaming him, and he's like, you try to blame it on Marilyn, and what else did he say? And just look where it's at. You know, where were the parents at? That's right. He's like, look where the parents are at. Is how he said it. Bear with me here. Just give me a second here. I'm gonna figure it out in my head. So where it's at and where were the parents at? Yeah, I'm assuming it's something along those lines. But where were the parents at? And I don't think it's the parents' fault 100%. I mean, everybody makes their own decisions. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people make some really poor decisions, and it's a new desperation and a new hunger, and like them not understanding the consequences or not caring, or so many people doing it that maybe there's a good majority of it getting away. But I can tell you this much: the devastation that when they're doing it, you know, doing certain stuff, really hurts the people's families, man. You know, and you know, why would you throw your life away, and why would you ruin somebody else's, man? You know, especially if you didn't have to. And you don't have to unless you're defending yourself or defending your family. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, friends, or you know, defending them in a noble, honorable way. Going out there and being crazy and wilding out is not acceptable, and it's progressively getting worse. And I don't believe that people can, you know, maybe it's not happening in like the super richest area, but it's all over America, and it's you know, it happens, man. You know, it wasn't long ago. Remember the West versus East of what was crazier? No, it's, you know, every place has got a corner, every place has got hoods, every place has got streets, you know, and it's bad, and none of it, in my opinion, is glorification, you know. I think all of our lives are hard enough as it is. Why are we going to make it harder on ourselves? You know, for the people that are barely getting by, when something like let's say, for example, they witness something like that, some of those people unfortunately have that, you know, as long as it wasn't me. You know, and I know what that mentality feels like when I was truck driving, man. You know, I was truck driving and I was doing regional, and the dispatchers had turned was showing favoritism to a lot of the night drivers, and being really crappy and telling everybody else to break the rules and everything else. And when they were doing that, the people that got the good routes were happy to you know, follow suit, and they were just happy that they weren't being punished. You know what I'm saying? And instead of everybody sticking together and saying, we're not taking bad trailers anymore, we're not taking things that have messed up tires, we're not taking things that would not pass a DOT inspection, instead of us all standing up together and doing the right thing, which I was trying to have them all do, because I was by myself doing that. I was like, dude, I'm not taking that trailer, man. I'll lose my license over this. You know, I've been inspected 5 times. I'm not doing it, man. And what's crazy is a lot of truckers have left comments like, you know, you were too busy worrying about everything else instead of doing the job. That is my job. I am the captain of my own ship. If you're okay with taking a trailer that's expired, that won't pass a DOT inspection, that has an air leak, that's on you, and it's not safe at all for you to do that, and it's very dangerous for the public. And I believe that I have educated quite a few drivers there, and by telling them, like, dude, you know, you're going to run out of air, and you're going to have a catastrophe on your hand if you leave this yard. Listen how loud that air leak is, man. But yeah, that's some of the stuff with it. I still got a whole lot to talk about, so roll with me on it. You know, if it was, you know, what do homeless need the most on other subjects is, you know, I think, you know, air. You can't go very long without air. And then, you know, can you go longer without food than water? Yeah. So you'll need water next. but hope, and you can give somebody hope a lot of different ways. Being supportive, being a support system. You're not out of the game unless you stop trying, and I gotta tell you, and it's not just what's going on now. It's been a very big progressive thing. Is if you wanted to end homelessness, one of the first steps I would say is prevent it from happening. And a lot of people are so close to being homeless that and I know what it might feel like when you think, hey, if something bad happens to me, you have a great uncle, or you have a great grandpa, or you have your mother, or your brother, or you got your friend, you got your old lady, you got your brother, you got all this stuff. You don't know. I mean, it might feel really nice, but you don't know if they actually can or will be able to help you in that situation until you're in that situation. I gotta tell you, in that situation, they don't owe you anything, man. You're not, there is no obligation here. Maybe if you're under 18, yeah, there's got to be an obligation. But the truth is you really find out, people are still your friends if they don't help you. So when somebody's like, when you're down and out, you find out who your friends are. No, the people that are your friends for a reason, unless they did something, bad to you. They don't have to help. Friends do because they want to do. I guess you find out who you're closer, what friends care the most, or who are willing to help the most, and stuff like that. But the truth is that you're gonna have to rely on yourself, and the people that that you're close with could very well easily not change their mind, or not be in a position to help you, or maybe the circumstances change and now you feel weird. There's a lot of situations with that, and people are very, very close with it, with having that least amount of money saved, and you're just working just enough. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, just working just enough so that you aren't homeless. But if you get sick, or if your wife leaves you, or you get hurt at work, and when you get hurt at work, it takes too long before you get your workman's comp, you could very well easily lose your house, be evicted, lose your mortgage, or if you're paying rent, you could very easily lose your car. You weren't able to pay your car notes in a couple months, and it got repoed, and now you don't got a way to go to work, or now you lost a job, so you found another job, and that job that you found just doesn't cut what you used to make, and now you don't make enough to sustain the housing you have. And it's not really your fault that living in that house was expensive. It's everybody's is, man. It's all like set up for you to have to struggle. Now, here's the good news. Instead of sitting around and saying all that stuff, you still have opportunity. You still have hope. You're still in the game. You could look at it the way that I look at stuff. I had a setback. I had a minor setback, but I'm gonna have a major comeback, and I keep applying myself every single day. That's all I can do. What am I supposed to do? Lay here and hope food just magically appears in my hand? No, I put stuff out in the universe, and I ask God, but I put myself in positions of opportunity. A lot of people say, that person got lucky, and I believe that could happen to people, real luck. But if you wanted a better chance at luck, the way that I do it is literally like I'm putting myself in positions of where I could receive it. So, if somebody's like, oh, you're lucky that you were able to go ahead and get that landscaping job. No, I stopped and I saw somebody raking up their leaves, and I jumped out and I said, hey, I'd be willing to do it for a couple bucks. I live in my car. I'd love to help you out, man. Something like that. Then you put yourself in position. If you went in and did that and the person said no, okay, you know what? Every no brings you closer to a yes. So that's really how I roll with some of that stuff. Putting yourself in positions where you can actually receive help, putting yourself out there, and at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself. So as long as you know what you're doing is right and you're okay with it, that's all that matters. And but hope, man, having hope is really really the key. And if it was like clothing wise, in the winter, of course, people need to stay warm, but all year round, the two hardest things that people are hard on clothes wise is socks and underwears, and you probably just get them socks. you know, I mean, walking around and keeping your feet warm and everything else, socks are extremely important. Not sure if you know who Tony Robbins is, but he, motivational speaker. He was in that movie Shallow Hal as well, and whatnot. He had a long time ago. He had an interview, and he's like, I could sum up, what the purpose of life is, something along those lines. And he's like, it's progress, right? Hope is like progress, man. The chance, the little bit that things can get better, or that when I buy I haven't bought one in a long time, but when I buy like a lottery ticket, like a Mega Millions or whatever, now I know that I have like the slimmest chance. But for the rest of that day, or let's say it plays in a few days, those next few days I am like projecting out there, like when I get this money, this is how I'm going to help people. This is how I'm going to help myself and stuff like that. And that hope really does the strive stuff. Like, if you were to work at your job and you wanted to get a that special raise and stuff, right? That the chance and the hope of knowing that you could do that actually makes you work harder and stuff like that. And then of course, if they screw you over on it and they don't give it to you, and you're the one that actually like, let's say it was politics, they give it to the pretty girl instead of the person who shows up an hour early and leaves, this last one who leaves and does all the work. That stuff does happen. At that point, you don't take it personal, right? When a business fires you, or lets you go, however you want to look at it, right? It's from a business standpoint. Their business standpoint is let's say, for example, I could get rid of you and I could hire 2 employees that could do twice as much work and pay them a lot less. Well, at that point, it's just business. So did you do something wrong? Did you screw something up? Were you caught stealing? Did you were you spreading rumors? Were you being a scumbag? No. But they went ahead and did that to you, and it's just business. So you don't take it personal. So the same thing, working for a company. If you know that you're not going to go up the ladder, why really would you do things for that job where you're not getting paid for? You know what I'm saying? Does that mean you should drag your feet and stuff like that? I'm not really saying that, but it's business. The same thing is if you're working at a job and you got offered a better position or something that you liked more. Should you be like, no, I'm gonna stick with this job because I really care about the people that that work there? I mean, of course you can care about the people, but at the end of the day, it all depends. Is it a small little business or is it a corporation? If it's a corporation, 9 times out of 10 they don't care, and it's okay that they don't care. They're paying you to do something, right? When you put your emotions and your feelings into it, but I think getting a little bit sidetracked. Homeless people need hope. How would you give somebody hope if they were a total stranger? Things can get better if you just give it time. If you think that things could always be worse, that's one of the things that helped me the most about being positive. I'm always a positive person. Well, I can't say always, but most of the time, is things could always be worse. At least I have a bottle of water I can drink. At least I'm in my vehicle. At least my vehicle is running. At least my heat works. At least this roof is keeping me out of most of the bad elements during the winter. At least I still in pretty good health. At least my mind really always applies itself. I'm not just sitting around with my hand out, hoping for something to happen. I'm trying to make things happen. You know what I mean? I apply myself by working every single day. That's another misconception too that I talk about all the time. Is homeless people. What homeless people need is a job. The statistics are between 40 and 60% of homeless people actually have full-time jobs, and I'm one of them. I do gig apps, I do DoorDash and Uber Eats, and I work over 40 hours a week. And I know gas prices are a lot lower right now, but gas is takes a big chunk of what I make, and these areas, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, they're saturated, man. Everybody is trying to, for legal people, everybody's trying to make money. They have to. People aren't just working one job anymore and being okay. As far as I can tell, no, everybody's working and they have side hustles, So that's really it's we're all in a struggle right now, and we're all in together in all this, man. But I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Before you go ahead and close it, let me, because I didn't say it in the beginning of the video, if you do want to show support, if you do want to throw me a donation, my Cash App is the same as my YouTube name, AlienAscend. I'll leave it in the description. I ask that you rock with me. Please, drop comments, hit likes, and if you want, check out all my other videos and pick something that you think would be, that you would want to share for somebody the first time they watch me. Put it on your Facebook, put it in a Discord, put it, share it around. If you got a text message somebody, that you think that did like my videos, please do so. I want to thank you so much.